What's up guys, it's Alexander Travel Bum. Today we're going over a little bit of Myanmar. So I spent a little under a month in Myanmar, so I just wanted to share with you some of the awesome things that you can do there. I made a list of about 15 things, so we're gonna go over that now. So Inle Lake is one of the most beautiful places in Myanmar. It's this vast lake that you can take a boat out on, and you'll see floating gardens. You'll see the locals, they live in these houses built on stilts all around the lake. You see fishermen hard at work. It's pretty cheap to take the boat out for the day, and you'll take it out with about 5 other people. And while you do this, you get to go to a local's house, one of these houses that are on the lake, and you get to eat a traditional Myanmar meal, and they show you a few different things when it comes to living Myanmar life. Watch the sunrise in Bagan. Bagan is a city with hundreds of ancient temples. The city spans about 25 miles, and these temples are all over the place. But what people really come here for is the sunrise, and it looks like this. A lot of times you'll see hot air balloons floating above. You'll see hundreds of them, and that is the typical scene of a Myanmar sunrise. So then watch the sunset in Bagan. This is really similar. Actually, looking at my footage, I'm really not sure which one is sunrise and which one is sunset because I got it mixed up. But the thing is, if you're gonna be there for sunrise, then what you should do is find a different location for sunset. At sunset, most of the tourists will be out, so if you go to one of the tallest temples there, you're gonna be surrounded by hundreds of other people for the sunset. But if you search around a little bit and find your own spot, you can still get a good view from another temple. The next is to befriend a local. One of the main things I wanted to do when I got to Myanmar is really get to know the culture, get to know the people, and how they really live their life. And I got lucky because a local came up to me the first day that I was there, and he brought me to his home, and I got to experience the way that they lived. And he spoke really good English, so he taught me all about it. So I highly suggest befriending a local there somehow, and not just spending all your time with tourists. See rural Myanmar. So what you should really do at least once is get away from the cities and the main tourist spots and go to a place like this. This is called Hsipaw. And you go here to see some real rural Myanmar life. This place is all about the landscape. You get to see waterfalls and rice terraces and just natural Myanmar beauty far away from the crowds. Ride the circle train. The circle train of Myanmar is this train that just rides in a circle all around the city. It takes a few hours to ride the whole way, but what you can do is you can get a ticket and you can hop on and hop off wherever and see things along the way for the day. Personally, I think this is the best way to see real Myanmar life. The people ride the train every day, and so there's so much going on inside the train, but then also there's no glass on the windows, so you can see outside, and there's no barrier between you and everything that's going on outside. Sometimes it's too hard to decide if you want to look at what's going on inside the train or out. Ride a scooter around Bagan. Once again, we're talking about Bagan, but that is for good reason. Bagan is just the most amazing place you can go in Myanmar, as far as I'm concerned. And what you want to do is you want to get a scooter. They're pretty cheap, usually less than $5 to take it out for the day, and just take it out and see all of the temples. You won't be able to see all of it, but you can see hundreds of temples during the day and just ride around them by yourself. Take in Shwedagon Pagoda. Shwedagon Pagoda is the main temple. It's the most sacred pagoda in Myanmar. It's massive and it's covered in gold, and the roof is actually covered in diamonds. It's also said to contain relics of the Buddhas. I believe it's hair. Visit Snake Temple. Now this one is off the beaten path. I had no idea this even existed, but when I met a local when I was in Yangon, he took me on a scooter out to Snake Temple. And when you get in there, these are wild snakes that just came in and just live there now. And they live there with the monks that also live there. There's no cages, there's nothing, there's no barrier between you and these snakes that are everywhere. Visit a market. The Myanmar markets are probably the most interesting markets that I've seen anywhere in Southeast Asia. There's just so much going on, and this is where you'll see people wearing the traditional Myanmar makeup. They're selling all types of foods, all types of things. Just walk around and get a little bit of Myanmar life. Next thing is to wear the traditional makeup. The traditional makeup in Myanmar is called thoetko, and a lot of people wear it. Men, women, everyone seems to be wearing it. It's these circles you see on the cheeks of the people walking around here. And it's made up of a bark. I actually had somebody show me how to make it, and he put it on me. Try bizarre foods. In Myanmar, it's really easy to try foods that you have no idea what they are. There's a ton of mystery meats. What they eat is what they call barbecue. Sometimes you have about 50 choices, and they're all different types of meats on sticks, and you really don't know what you're getting. They use every part of the animal. And then sometimes you do know what it is, and you wish you didn't. Accept a meal with a family. I got lucky when I met the local in Yangon when I first got to Myanmar. He took me to his family's home, and they cooked me a traditional Myanmar meal with about 7 or 8 different types of Myanmar foods. This was the best meal that I had the whole time that I was in Myanmar, by far. Try ngya. Ngya, if I'm saying it right, is a tobacco product. It's a betel nut that's wrapped in a leaf, and a lot of people in Myanmar, they chew on this all day. And you start to see when you're talking to locals that almost all of them have a red mouth, and they're constantly spitting out this red spit, and that's because of the betel nut. It is highly addictive, but if you try it once, you're not going to get addicted, so you have to try it. It is not a pleasant experience the first time you do it, but you have to try it. Okay, so those are my 15 experiences that you really should try to have when you're in Myanmar. Let me know if you have any other questions about Myanmar, any at all. Leave your comment below and I will answer all of them. If you got anything from this, please like this video. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you in the next video.